Most people who want to build houses in Nigeria always think about the costs involved and the aesthetics of the house. But the design layout and the overall workflow of your house can significantly determine the experience you will have while living in the house, whether good or bad experience. In this video, I will show you 10 ways to cool your house during hot weathers in Nigeria without necessarily using air conditioners. Now, I will also show you how this will improve your overall health, help you save energy costs, and possibly enhance your longevity. Now, watch this video to the end so that you will learn how to avoid the mistakes that could turn your house into a heat trap. Because avoiding these mistakes at the beginning of your project will help you to escape unnecessary reconstructions and irreversible damage. Now, welcome to Housing Info NG. My name is Emmanuel Amade. On this channel, I share my knowledge on how you can start and successfully complete your building project here in Nigeria. And that is essentially or especially for houses that improve your health and are cost efficient in the long run. Now, we all know that Nigeria has a hot climate. Now, because of that, our temperature typically ranges from 20 to 30 degrees Celsius and sometimes up to 40 degrees Celsius when we have peak dry season. Now, because of that, we experience more heat than coldness, and as a result, most homes or most homeowners rely on air conditioners to keep cooling the interior spaces of our home. But what if I tell you that your architect that designs your house, that is the design of your house, can actually help you reduce the cost of running AC units in your house, and not only that, but also help improve your overall health simply by designing a house that blends with your natural environment. And that is what we're going to look at in today's video, how the design of your house can actually help cool your house during hot weathers. Do well to like this video and subscribe if you find any value in it as you watch to the end. And I encourage you to watch to the end because the bonus I have on the tips on how to cool your house will surprise you, especially for those who like hidden roofs and flat roofs.
When building a house in Nigeria, the positioning of your house can determine whether your house stays naturally cool or constantly hot. In Nigeria, the east and west sides of a building receive the harshest sunlight, especially in the afternoon when temperatures are highest. So your house should be positioned in a way that reduces direct exposure to the east and west sun. In simple terms, the front of your house should not face the east or west cardinal directions. Now, a good architect can position the longer sides of your house towards the north and south directions instead. This reduces the amount of heat entering the building during the day and helps keep your rooms cooler naturally. Large windows, bedrooms, and living rooms should also avoid facing the harsh west sun without proper shading, because that side receives intense afternoon heat that can make your house feel like an oven. So when your house is properly oriented in relation to the sun, less heat enters the building, your rooms stay cooler for longer, and your dependency on air conditioners can reduce drastically, or in some cases become unnecessary during certain periods of the day. Another major factor is wind direction. In Nigeria, catching the natural breeze is one of the best ways to cool your house without depending on air conditioners. Your house should not face the prevailing wind directly head on. Instead, the front or the longer side of the building should be positioned at about 30 to 45 degrees towards the direction of the prevailing wind. This helps your house catch cool breezes naturally while reducing the amount of dust entering the home. For example, in many parts of southern Nigeria, the cooler wind usually comes from the southwest direction, especially during the rainy season. So instead of facing the building completely towards the southwest wind, your architect can slightly angle the front of the house about 30 to 45 degrees towards that direction. This allows fresh air to flow smoothly through the building without carrying too much dust directly into the house. When your house is properly positioned, fresh air enters through one side of the building and pushes hot air out through other openings. This is called cross ventilation, and it allows your house to breathe naturally throughout its lifespan. Now, instead of trapped heat making your rooms uncomfortable, your house stays cooler with fresh moving air. This can drastically reduce or even remove the need for air conditioners in many Nigerian homes. Now, a properly ventilated house is also healthier for you and your family. When fresh air flows freely through your home, it reduces trapped heat, humidity, dust buildup, bad odors, and poor indoor air quality that can cause headaches, tiredness, poor sleep, breathing problems, and constant discomfort. Now, a properly ventilated house helps to prevent what experts call homesick syndrome, where people feel unhealthy because they live in hot, poorly ventilated buildings. A house that breathes naturally improves your comfort, sleep quality, and overall health for many years. So when building your house in Nigeria, don't just focus on beauty and cost. Make sure your architect positions the building to catch the breeze, because natural airflow is one of the biggest secrets to keeping your house cool without the need for air conditioners. Interior planning is just as important as house orientation if you want to keep your home cool in Nigeria without air conditioners. Even a well-positioned house can become hot if the inside layout traps heat and blocks airflow. This is where your architect comes in. Your architect should design a layout that allows air to move freely from one end of the house to the other, avoiding unnecessary solid walls that block natural ventilation. Living rooms, dining areas, and corridors should be planned to support smooth airflow. Doors and windows must be aligned for cross ventilation, so air can enter from one side and exit from another. This constant movement removes trapped hot air and replaces it with cooler fresh air. High ceilings with upper vents or windows should be included so hot air can rise and escape naturally, keeping the lower part of the room cooler. When all these are properly designed by your architect, your house naturally breathes from the inside, stays cooler, healthier, and greatly reduces the need for air conditioners in your home. I remember when I was very much younger, my father has these flowers and some greeneries around our house. And we didn't know how much fresh air that we were enjoying in those days. But these days, I don't know, it seems like people don't want to plant flowers and have greeneries around their house. Let me know what you think about that in the comment section. And if you want to build a safe, healthy house that is cost efficient, a house that will improve your overall health, for throughout the lifespan of the house, then check out the contact of our company in the description of this video or somewhere around the screen of this video. We are a team of professionals that design and build safe, healthy, and cost-efficient houses that will, last the test of time. Another simple but powerful way to cool your home in Nigeria without air conditioners is through landscaping and greenery around the house. Even small green areas like grass, shrubs, flowers, or A few trees around your building can make a big difference. Plants help reduce heat by providing shade, cooling the surrounding air, and releasing oxygen that improves air quality around your home. When you have some greenery around your house, the immediate environment becomes cooler, less dusty, and more breathable. This helps reduce the overall temperature around the building, which then affects the indoor comfort of your home. However, this only works well when combined with proper house orientation and good interior planning. Greenery alone is not enough. It works together with correct positioning of the house and proper airflow design. So when building your house in Nigeria, don't ignore landscaping. Even small, simple green spaces around your home can improve air quality, reduce heat, and make your house naturally more comfortable without relying heavily on air conditioners. Another effective way to cool your house in Nigeria without relying heavily on air conditioners is by using reflective roofing materials. You can use roofing sheets or stone-coated tiles that reflect a large portion of the sun's rays back into the atmosphere instead of absorbing them. This reduces the amount of heat that enters your house through the roof, which is one of the main sources of indoor heat in Nigerian homes. When your roof reflects heat instead of trapping it, your rooms stay naturally cooler throughout the day, especially during the hot, dry season. This works even better when combined with proper house orientation, good ventilation, and simple greenery around the building. The result is not just a cooler house, but a healthier living environment for you and your family. It reduces heat stress, improves comfort, and lowers your dependency on air conditioners, making your home more energy efficient in the long term. So if you're building a house in Nigeria and you care about your long-term health and comfort, investing in a reflective roofing system is one of the smartest decisions you can make. Another simple but effective way to cool your house in Nigeria without air conditioners is by using light-colored paints on both the interior and exterior walls. Colors like white, cream, and light gray reflect sunlight instead of absorbing the heat. This reduces the amount of heat that enters and builds up in your walls, especially in sun-facing areas of the house. When your walls absorb less heat, your rooms stay naturally cooler for longer periods, even during hot afternoons. This reduces indoor temperature buildup and makes your home more comfortable without depending heavily on air conditioners. When combined with proper house orientation, ventilation, greenery, and reflective roofing, light-colored painting becomes part of a complete passive cooling system that helps keep Nigerian homes cooler, healthier, and more energy efficient. Another simple way to keep your house cool in Nigeria without relying on air conditioners is by using architectural shades and window protection, especially on windows facing the harsh east and west sun. These sides of the house receive the strongest sunlight in Nigeria, especially in the morning and late afternoon. If your windows are fully exposed, the sun heats up the glass and allows that heat to enter directly into your home. But when you add shades such as window overhangs, louvers, pergolas, or external window blinds, you block direct sunlight before it enters the window. This reduces heat gain and keeps your indoor spaces much cooler throughout the day. By reducing direct sun exposure, your house absorbs less heat, which means lower indoor temperatures and more comfortable rooms without heavy reliance on AC. When combined with proper orientation, ventilation, greenery, light colors, and reflective roofing, shading becomes part of a complete cooling system that makes your home in Nigeria stay naturally cool, healthier, and more energy efficient. Another way to keep your house cooler in Nigeria without using air conditioner is by using hollow blocks for the construction of your house. Unlike solid blocks, hollow blocks contain air pockets that reduce how much heat passes through the walls. This means your wall absorbs and transfers less heat from the sun into your rooms, helping to keep indoor temperatures lower. When combined with other cooling strategies like proper orientation, ventilation, reflective cooling, light colors, greenery, and shading, hollow blocks become part of a full passive cooling system. So instead of your house storing heat all day, it stays naturally cooler, more comfortable, and less dependent on air conditioners. Another smart way to cool your house naturally in Nigeria is by introducing small pools, water features, or fountains into the architectural design of your home. Water helps cool the surrounding air naturally through evaporation. So when pools or fountains are placed in strategic areas around the house, they can help lower the temperature of nearby spaces and create a fresher, cooler environment. Now, my bonus point on how to cool your home naturally in Nigeria without air conditioners is by adding greenery on the roof of your house. Whether it is a flat roof, hidden roof, or even a pitched roof, rooftop greenery can act like a natural air conditioner for the building. The plants help absorb heat from the sun before it even reaches the roof surface, reducing the amount of heat that enters the house. This keeps the indoor spaces cooler, improves natural ventilation around the building, and creates a healthier living environment with fresher air and better overall comfort. Now, for pitched roofs, installing rooftop greenery may require skilled professionals to properly secure the plants and soil to prevent spillage during heavy rainfall. But when it is correctly installed, it can significantly reduce the heat buildup in the house and lower or even remove the need for air conditioners. When combined with proper house orientation, ventilation, shading, and other passive cooling methods, rooftop greenery becomes part of a complete natural cooling system for Nigerian homes.